you think the cure's doing you any good, Sir Henry?
Every year I tell myself so, Your Majesty, but every year it seems to have a little less effect.
Yes, I know the problem. But just think what we'd be like if we didn't spend a month here every year. Blast! Another of those damned photographers. I thought they'd promised to leave us alone. Fritz! Oh, where the devil's punching me? What?
I was thinking of the caption underneath that photograph. Is it peace or war?
And little do they know it's only two old gentlemen discussing their stomachs. I have to congratulate you, Prime Minister, on refusing to support this idiocy of a Channel tunnel.
So you don't think it's a good idea either, sir?
Well, we don't want England attached to Europe, do we? By a kind of metal umbilical cord. It's personal ties we need, not physical ones. Oh, there you are, Fritz.
Forgive me, sir. I was detained by a young lady whom I believe you noticed.
Oh, yes. She is very attractive. Who was she? What does she want?
Well, it's difficult to know how to put it.
Well, come on, out with it.
Well, sir, it appears that she has come to Marienbad all the way from Vienna. She feels that her professional reputation would be considerably enhanced were she to have the inestimable honor of sleeping with your Majesty.
What did you tell her?
That it was out of the question, sir.
Yes, of course.
Well, sir, so as not to waste the price of the fare, she asked whether she might not have the more dubious honor of sleeping with me.
That's too much, Mother dear.
She can't hear you, Toria.
Mamma, you'll cut them all away.
Yes, dear, you've cleared them all away. I'll have some more for you shortly.
That's enough, Alex. Leave some for the gardeners.
I adore it here, Minnie. I'll never understand why Bertie wants to go rushing all over Europe when he could have a nice, quiet holiday here with us in Denmark.
Oh, he gets bored when he's not surrounded by people.
Well, if he won't come here, at least I don't have to go to Germany with him.
Where is he now?
Homburg or Marienbad. The waters are good for him and he needs a rest. And he can be with his own friends.
You mean Mrs. Keppel?
You're looking particularly pleased with yourself this evening.
Well, that's because I'm dining alone with the most beautiful lady in Marienbad.
Thank you, sir. But I think there's something else.
Oh, all right. Well, I think I've done it. You know that Izvolsky, the Russian foreign minister, is here at the hotel?
No.
Well, he is. I invited him.
I thought the Anglo-Russian talks had broken down.
Oh, well, that's as maybe. But if I flatter Izvolsky a little, I think I can get him to persuade the Tsar that we have only friendly feelings towards Russia.
Well, you're a crafty old devil.
So, he's brought it off, Prime Minister.
It would appear so, Mr. Churchill. The Anglo-Russian agreement was signed yesterday in St. Petersburg.
Well, that's what the King's been working for ever since his visit to Paris.
A triple alliance with Russia and France.
Germany won't like that.
I suppose we had to choose between them, and Russia is the lesser of two evils. But what part did the King really play in all this?
It's hard to say, Mr. Lloyd George.
Well, it could certainly have been handled without him.
Perhaps, but don't forget, he did speak with Izvolsky, and on his trips abroad, he had informal talks with the Emperor Franz Joseph and Clemenceau.
What is he, the monarch or the foreign secretary? Perhaps we ought to appoint him. That's all very well, but the belief abroad that the King dictates our foreign policy is extremely unfortunate.
And inaccurate.
The Kaiser in particular sees every move we make as a deliberate insult by his uncle. Calls him the arch-intriguer, Satan.
Aye, he's a strange man. He's torn between a mixture of jealousy and admiration for the king, but secretly he longs to be exactly like him.
It lowers European politics to the level of a family squabble.
Well, in a sense, Mr. Asquith, that's precisely what it's become.
We must get the king to convince his nephew that we have no warlike intentions towards Germany.
Otherwise, he will see our new alliance as a direct threat.
Well, gentlemen, what exactly do you want the king to do?
He must invite the Kaiser on a state visit. Make a fuss of it.
So you grumble that the king has too much influence on politics, and at the same time appeal for his help as peacemaker. Thank you, gentlemen.
Princess Daisy.
Your Majesty.
Aren't you are looking charming? Wunderschön. That gown is exquisite. Don't you think so, my dear?
Yeah, very lovely.
I am not surprised you turn my son's heads.
You flatter me, Your Majesty.
Yes, it is the English manner. When we are here, we must adopt the manners of our host.
What's he up to?
I was coming this way, Papa. No, he's stopped to talk to Campbell Bannerman.
I'm sorry to see you not well, Sir Henry.
Oh, it's just a touch of something that comes to all of us, sir.
What is that?
Old age, sir.
Ah, well, take care of yourself. We cannot spare such a wise head as yours.
You wouldn't believe it. He even brings a special barber with him to wax his moustache.
Mother. Uncle Bertie.
In the rounds, then, William?
Pleasure. I had almost forgotten how many friends I have here. Victoria, May, how charming you look. So beautifully dressed. Don't you think so, Donna?
Yeah, very lovely.
And Aunt Alex, have I told you how lovely you are tonight?
Yes, once or twice, really.
That is because I cannot get over it. You are so young. Oh, how happy I am to be here.
Well, shall we go into dinner?
Yes. Thank you, Willie.
It's so comfortable, so pleasant. Isn't it, my dear?
Yeah, very pleasant.
My palaces are so cold, uncarpeted. Sometimes I ask my chamberlain if he thinks I want to skate.
Oh. Tell him to light a fire.
Would be misunderstood. But this is a real home. We must all meet more often.
Well, I'd have asked you before, Willie, only I heard you were indisposed.
I should have known that a few days in England would cure me.
It's an illness which I hope will not recur.
It cannot possibly. Now, whenever I am here, I never want to leave.
Your people would think we were keeping you prisoner.
In a way you are. I suppose it is my English blood, the things my mother told me as a child. I have longed to live here, to be one of you.
You are, Willie.
Only inside myself, and never completely. I have to fight against it for the sake of my country, for the things I must sometimes do. But blood is thicker than water, isn't it?
Blood is thicker than water.
He used the same words in his speech at the Guildhall. He was cheered and applauded.
He's very popular. People can't think why they ever mistrusted him.
Well, he sounds sincere this time. If only it lasts, Reggie.
It's a pity he wasted his talks with the Foreign Office.
How so?
Well, he spent the whole time raving against the Jews and describing a railway he intends to build from Berlin to Baghdad.
What on earth for?
Well, he either couldn't or wouldn't say so.
There can be only one reason: to carry military supplies.
Oh, don't even think it, Francis. No, Reggie, just hasn't been approached in the right way, that's all. I'll write to Gray again, get him to arrange another Foreign Office meeting. Come.
Excuse me, sir. His Imperial Highness is here and wishes to see you urgently.
Oh, thank you, Fritz.
Why am I being kept from you?
Willie.
Why am I not allowed to see you?
Well, there's important work to be got through. I'm free for you at any other time.
We have had no real chance to talk.
But I've arranged meetings for you with my government.
They do not understand me. I am always misunderstood.
Thank you, gentlemen.
No, let them stay. Anything I say may be heard by anyone.
But I have promised my ministers not to discuss politics with
This
you.
is not politics. It is life or death. This is a unique opportunity. I offer friendship. But everywhere, I hear you are reorganizing your army. You are building new and bigger battleships. Why?
All right, Willie. Cards on the table. We build because you build. It's as simple as that.
But I have not the slightest wish to go to war with England.
Well, you don't need a fleet to fight France or Russia, so we must assume it's meant for us.
It is only to defend our commerce. We are a new nation. We must be allowed to expand, to defend ourselves. Don't you realize I am the greatest friend Britain has? Without me, you would have lost South Africa.
How?
Oh, you deny it now, you laugh. But I gave you the strategic plan which defeated the Boers. It was only I who prevented the states of Europe from joining against you. It is only I who stopped my people from marching, from taking what should be ours. Only I keep my people in check. Everything I have sacrificed, everything for the affection I have for you, for our family. And see how I'm treated, cruelly, cruelly misunderstood on all sides.
Willie.
I have... Excuse me. Excuse me.
Thank you. You dance beautifully, Louis.
Thank you, Ma'am.
Georgie, you see what they have made for me? I can hear everything that everyone says.
Yes, Mother dear.
Ah, Mr. Asquith. No, no, no. You must keep it on. You're not allowed to take it off till after 12th night.
As you please, ma'am.
That's much better. If you're not enjoying yourself, you can at least look as if you are. And I insist that you dance with me later.
Honored, ma'am.
Will you excuse me? Come along, Louis.
Mr. Asquith.
Good evening, sir.
Your Royal Highness.
What is it, Francis?
The Prime Minister, sir.
Ah, is there any news?
He's dying.
Oh. I don't wish to spoil the party, sir, but I must speak to His Majesty.
Yes, of course. Would you come with me? Thank you, Francis.
I can't concentrate with all this noise. I'm sorry, partner.
Are you quite well, sir?
Never better, never better.
If I may say so, you are smoking too much.
If Sister Agnes had her way, we'd lose all our tobacco shares.
I'm not a candidate for your nursing home yet, Agnes, but I am cutting down.
Not enough to worry Sir Ernest.
That's not fair. I've rationed myself to 2 cigarettes before breakfast.
And 3 cigars.
Small ones. At any rate, I'm trying, Alice, so don't nag. It's no good. Take over for me, will you, Reggie? No, don't get up. Carry on. 3 clubs, 5 have gone.
Father?
Very becoming.
I apologize, sir. Her Majesty insisted.
Mr. Asquith has to return to London, Father. It's Sir Henry.
He's sinking fast.
They're doing what they can.
Well, of course, sir, but it's only a matter of time, I'm afraid. There is another matter, sir. A communique from our Berlin embassy.
Oh, what now?
It appears the Kaiser's attitude has changed again.
Oh, no.
He's been trying to break our alliance with Russia.
He forced the Tsar to meet him on his territory.
Do we know what was said?
No, we can't find out, but our observers say the Tsar left the meeting frightened and humiliated.
Fools, they'll destroy each other.
And Europe. The situation's very dangerous. The Russians must be reassured and the Tsar convinced of our good intentions.
And you want my help, do you?
Well, sir,
Ah,
if you
Mr.
could...
Asquith. You promised to dance with me.
I apologize, ma'am.
Well, it's too late now. We're playing Hunt the Slipper. You must come and join us.
Mother dear.
And you too, Georgie.
Alex. Alex.
Oh, just a moment.
It appears we may be going on a little trip.
What?
A little trip to Russia.
Oh. Moving closer, Nicky.
Yes, that's it. And Toria, come along.
Oh, Toria,
Yes,
no,
of
of course you
course.
must be
Don't be
there.
ridiculous.
Go and stand by Alecky.
You too, Mother. Here with me.
Oh, look happy. Smile.
Two little grandnieces, both so pretty. What's the matter? Cat got your tongues? That's better.
That's better now. Steady. Steady. Oh, excellent.
There, you see, that didn't hurt much, did it? Come on, upsy daisy. Oh.
Be careful, Uncle Bertie.
Oh, don't worry, Alecky. I've never dropped one yet. Still, you'd better have him. Nicky and I have to finish our chat.
If you will excuse us.
Of course.
Thank you, Toria. What shall we do now? I know. You can show your cousin Victoria over the ship. Only you mustn't lose her.
Not only draw our two countries more closely together, but help very considerably to maintain peace in the world. Well, that's what I shall say at the banquet tonight. May I?
Please.
But I wanted to say it to you two both personally.
Those are my feelings too, sir.
I may have said some unfortunate things in the past, but only because I was confused and misled.
We've both been misled from the same source. Did Admiral Fisher mention my idea to you, Mr. Stolypin?
He did, sir, but I have not yet had a chance to ask His Imperial Majesty.
As a token of His Majesty's affection and respect, he would like to appoint you an Admiral of the Fleet in the British Navy, sir.
Would you accept?
Uncle Bertie, I'd be delighted. Well, I'm overwhelmed.
The uniform will suit you, and you may find it useful. You're far more likely to see British warships in the future than ever to meet British troops.
You see how she behaves.
She's a good mother.
Oh, she has no warmth, no affection. We are only a real family again because you are here.
Minnie, why don't you come and live with us?
I can't leave Russia. I was Empress once. I still have some influence. If Nicky needs me, I must be here.
Yes. Yes, I know.
It's quite different. The British people and I trust each other. I have no need for guards and protection.
You are fortunate.
It is only 2 years since my daughter was blown up by Nihilists. Now they are sworn to kill me.
But, sir, as Prime Minister of Russia, don't you find this situation intolerable?
Surely it would be better to give them some of the freedom they ask for.
Our people are not used to freedom. Unless they are educated first, they will misuse it.
But if you leave it too long, then surely...
Victoria, where did they find that?
I, too, would like to trust my people and have them trust me,
But any reform in one direction brings immediate demands for reform in others.
Excuse me. He wants to say good night.
So early?
He must rest. I don't want him to become excited.
Oh, well. Good night then, Alexis.
Good night.
Nicky? Is she worried about him?
He is a little delicate.
But take good care of him. I lost my first boy. No one can know the pain. And after all, that's what we work for, the world that we leave our sons.
If we have the courage.
Oh, I'm sure you have the courage. I only hope you have the time.
Oh, and that's Aunt Minnie and the girls on the yacht.
Oh, there you are, Georgie.
Thank you, Mama.
Charlotte? No, thank you.
And that is Alecky and Nicky. Isn't he just like George?
Oh, yes, very.
Oh, and that's little Alexis with his Russian sailor friend.
Oh, it's quite charming. He follows them everywhere.
Mama?
Well, if your father can smoke himself to death, I don't see why I can't have an occasional one when I like him.
Is it true, Mother dear, that the choir that sang for you aboard the Imperial yacht was stripped and searched?
Oh, yes, yes.
Men and women.
Well, we protested strongly, of course. I don't think it's funny, Mama.
I was just imagining some English ladies' choral society coming to sing for us. What would they say if our police insisted on stripping and searching them?
I wouldn't like to think, Mom.
Oh, Charlotte!
Hello, my dear.
Oh, hello, Bertie.
Have I missed something?
We were just talking about our trip to Russia. I did so enjoy it, and I think we did some good.
I'm sure of it. You were a great help to me, my dear.
Oh.
And now you must help me again.
How?
with Willie.
Oh, not again.
Well, he thought he had Russia in his pocket, you see, and I proved that he hadn't, so now he's shouting that I want a war, but that he's expected to start it, so he'll be blamed.
Well, how can you stop him?
Well, I must go to Germany.
But you're not well. You came to Sandringham to rest. Your doctors insisted.
I don't want to go, my dear, but Willie complains that I've visited everyone except him. He says I hate him. I must show him it's not true.
Is there no other way?
No, as soon as possible, we must make a state visit to Berlin. Get me a cup of tea, Toria, will you, darling?
Of course, Papa.
Oh, dear.
I remember this gallery from my first visit as a boy. There was a little Polish countess. I managed to hold her hand for 5 minutes. It's always been a good place to talk. Have you thought over what I said? I've been completely open with you.
Yes.
This time I speak for my government.
Which has isolated Germany from the rest of Europe.
No. Don't you see? If we can steady our allies and you can control yours, then between us we hold a balance of power that makes war impossible.
Then why don't you make a treaty with me?
Well, we must be realistic. We are rivals. But as long as we can talk together like this, neither of us has anything to fear.
Have you finished?
For the moment.
We should go back to the ball.
Of course, Aunt Alex.
You go, my dear. I think I'll just sit here quietly for a moment.
I'll stay with you.
No, Willie. No, the Princess of Pless will stay with me. Daisy, you'll sit with me a minute, won't you?
I'd be delighted to, Your Majesty.
Good, so would I.
Aunt Alex.
Thank you, Willie.
Can I remind you of your Polish countess, sir?
Well, she was small and dark and spoke no English. Otherwise, you're very similar.
Your Majesty!
Yes.
Uncle Bertie.
Thank you, Fritz. Are you all right?
I couldn't breathe.
Fetch a doctor.
Fetch a doctor.
No, I'm all right. Thank you, Alex.
Grus Gott, I couldn't bear it. I thought...
all right, Willie. I'm still here. I smoked too much, that's all.
I would rather die myself than have anything happen to you. I would. Do you believe me?
Yes, I believe you, Willie.
No, Bertie, you must rest.
I'll help you to your room.
No, I'm all right now. We must show ourselves together. That's what we're here for. Come on.
I shall never forget it.
His third Derby winner.
I heard several people shouting, good old Teddy.
Here are my here's a lump of sugar.
Oh, what a race and what a wonderful triumph. I thought you'd disappear into the crowd, sir.
Well, I never remember anything like it. The shouting, hats in the air. What was it that fellow said?
Oh, yeah. Now you've won the Derby, go home and dissolve this bloody Parliament.
Mr. Lloyd George has the ability to be a great statesman, yet he damages his case by the violence of his arguments, as you do, Churchill.
Well, if I have gone too far, sir, it is only because of the viciousness of our opponents.
The House of Lords sees any attempt to redistribute wealth as an outright attack on their class.
Well, is it not?
The struggle is not so much between classes, sir, as between luxury and squalor. If we have a chance to do something against illness and unemployment, the terrors of the poor, should we not take it?
Well, it is something I've always wanted, and I grant you the great landowners have put up some pretty stupid arguments.
A small tax on land will pay for everything we need. We can introduce pensions for the old and a national health insurance.
And labor exchanges, where men who are out of work can be redirected to employment.
Yes, your opponents don't deny that these are necessary, only the methods by which they're to be achieved.
The debate is not merely between parties, sir, but between Lords and Commons. The House of Lords has the power of veto. Up to now, they have passed the ruling government's finance bills automatically. But if they throw this one out for their own reasons, they will create a constitutional crisis. And I must tell you, sir, my government will accept the challenge.
Bertie! Bertie? Where is he, Georgie? He met me at the station, then rushed off as soon as I went to change.
I expect he's in his study, Mother.
But I've been away for weeks. Doesn't he want to hear about my holiday?
Well, he probably has work to do. I wish you could get him to stop for a while, Mother.
Well, if he thinks his paperwork is more important. Why, is something wrong?
Well, he's wearing himself out. His doctors have begged him to rest, but he has meeting after meeting with the government, the opposition, representatives of the Lords.
Why?
Well, the House of Lords rejected Lloyd George's budget. Father has had to dissolve Parliament and call for an immediate general election.
Well, if he can find the time, I shall be unpacking in my bedroom. Come along, Charlotte.
You must tell them that, Lord Lansdowne. If the Liberals win the election and stay in power, and your House still refuses to pass the finance bill, the country will be thrown into chaos. Yes, but my dear fellow, the will of the people cannot be ignored. The only solution is a compromise. Can't they see that? Yes, thank you. Be so good as to keep me informed. You've more sense than the whole lot of them, Caesar.
My dear Prime Minister, the electors have shown they believe in what we're doing.
With our majority cut from 220 to 2, we're hardly in a very strong position.
We're still in a position to fight. And the Irish nationalists and the socialists will help us to take on the Lords.
For a consideration.
We're in no position to choose. We must settle whether the government is to rule the country or be dictated to by an out-of-date litter of peers protecting their own interests.
What we've got to do is to bring in a bill cutting down their numbers, their power, and above all, their right of veto.
Well, how can we do that? They will have to pass it themselves, and they're obviously not going to vote for their own destruction.
There is one way. We can ask the King to create hundreds of Liberal peers, enough to defeat any opposition.
Do you know what you're asking, Prime Minister?
I've considered it carefully. It's the only answer.
If the King is used by the government like this, it will be the end of what prestige and authority the monarchy has left.
It's a desperate remedy for a desperate situation.
They're using me as a kind of imperial lever.
Is it possible to create so many new peers?
Oh, yes, it's possible. Like turning out sausages. That's all a peerage would be worth afterwards. They want me to sacrifice my friends and ruin the very way of life I've sworn to uphold.
You must resist, sir.
Well, the only way I can do that is to abdicate. Oh, I've thought of it. More and more lately. Just to disappear, live out what's left of my life quietly with friends. Let someone else pull the strings.
You wouldn't seriously consider it, sir?
No, I suppose not. Be running away, wouldn't it, Caesar? Hmm? Anyway, I've also sworn to uphold the government, and in this whole matter, they're right. These measures are practical and necessary.
If only they could be brought in without all this fuss.
Well, it's the last battle of the old world. The Lords have governed this country under the King for 1,000 years. Often well, sometimes stupidly. Oh, blast. But always with common sense and justice winning in the end. They've reacted so sharply. And wrongly, thank you, Francis, over this whole business because they can see that their day's over. We're now in the time of the common man.
Have you decided when you're going to Biarritz?
I can't get away, not just yet.
But this winter fog is bad for
Yes,
you.
so they say.
There's nothing to keep you here, sir. With such a small majority, the government must move slowly. There really would be time.
You need rest. In the south of France, you could recuperate.
There's nothing I like more, Alice. But I can't leave, not when I may be needed.
Can you manage?
Yes, I'm all right, Chloe.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I can't believe it.
Charlotte.
Your father's last letter just said he had a slight cold.
Well, he insisted on going to the theatre in Paris and caught a chill. And when he reached Biarritz, he collapsed.
What is it?
Bronchial attacks. They're afraid of pneumonia.
What's being done? Is he in hospital?
He won't leave his hotel. He doesn't want anyone to know.
Why?
Well, he doesn't want anyone to be anxious for him. But the press have agreed not to say anything unless... well, unless it becomes really serious.
No, he wouldn't want anyone. What am I going to do, Georgie? I feel I must go to him, but...
It could alarm him in his condition.
I know Mrs. Keppel is with him. I know. I know. But how I wish it was me. Oh, no.
I think we should turn back now.
We'll just go to the end.
But perhaps we should have stayed in the gardens, huh?
No, Louis, I need to be up and doing.
You know, I really think I've walked far enough. I'm quite worn out.
Well, if you sit here, I'll go and fetch the car. You're not serious about returning to London, sir?
I must.
But Dr. Reed says you're not nearly well enough. You can't travel yet.
Reed's an idiot. I'm going.
But, sir...
In a few days, Asquith is presenting a bill to limit the power of the Lords. If it isn't passed, the government will have to resign, and the King must be there.
There will be no need to return, sir. The bill is bound to be passed. The Irish nationalists have promised to vote with the government. If the government eliminates the duty on whiskey.
At least he's getting better, Mama. He's getting better.
Obviously, if he can give dinner parties and play cards. I worried about him unnecessarily.
Well, he was very ill.
I wouldn't go there in case it caused embarrassment. I sent him a telegram asking him to join me in a cruise for his health where I could look after him myself. But he refused to come.
He couldn't, Mama.
On the yacht, he'd be too far away. He could get back from Biarritz in 24 hours if he had to, if there was another crisis.
In any case, he's coming now.
Well, I won't be here, I've decided. I shall take the yacht myself, go to Greece to visit my brother.
Well, he'll expect you to be here when he returns.
There is no point, since I am clearly not needed. Victoria, you will come with me.
It's very cold and raw today.
I'm sorry, sir. We should have had the fires lit.
There's no need to go to the trouble while the Queen's abroad. No word from her.
I'm afraid not, sir.
What news from town?
The situation is extremely tense, sir. Now that the veto bill has been carried in the Commons, the Lords realize they're fighting for their existence.
Yes, we'll ask Isha to keep us informed, will you, Francis?
Very good, sir.
I always liked this house. There's a lot of me here. No. No, we're going back to London, Fritz.
Yes, sir.
Call Miss Kaiser at the Hospital for Officers, Grosvenor Crescent. Ask if it would be convenient for me to dine with her tonight.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Agnes. I hope I haven't put you out.
Of course not, sir.
That was a very fine dinner.
You hardly touched it.
Well, I've no appetite these days.
You smoke too much. I've been telling you for years.
Yes, you have. You're the closest thing to a sister I have left. Sister Agnes.
I believe Her Majesty is coming back from Greece overland.
Yes, she decided the boat would take too long. I think they probably told her I wasn't feeling too well.
Well, you do seem tired, sir.
The slightest exertion seems to wear me out. I don't sleep, you see. I lie awake, turning things over in my mind.
What things?
Well, I wanted to leave the country peaceful and steady for George when it was his turn.
You will, sir. These present troubles cannot last.
Yes, I know the Lords have passed the people's budget at last, and I've given it my assent. But there's no hope that they'll pass the veto bill, and then the government will ask me for 500 Liberal peers.
500?
Enough to swamp the upper house. I had hoped that could be avoided at all costs. But it's like so many things, there was nothing I could do. Do you know, Agnes, I sometimes ask myself what I've achieved since I came to the throne. It's precious little.
How can you say that? You only think it because you're worried about one issue. You've forgotten everything else. And in any case, it isn't so much what you've done. It's what you stand for. The confidence and belief in themselves that you have given to others. Your people know that there's a real human being on the throne who understands them and cares for them. They're proud of our way of life because it's yours. Because so much of it comes from you.
I'd like to believe that. I keep having the strangest feeling that I'm seeing everything for the last time. I got it at Sandringham. That's why I wanted to see you.
Let me get you a little more brandy.
It's only chill. I was stupid. I got caught in the rain this morning when I walked in the park.
But why didn't he meet me? Your father always meets me at the station when I come back from abroad.
He couldn't, Mother dear.
And why did you make me come in by the garden door? All our people were waiting at the front.
I thought that you would want to go straight to him.
How bad is he? The bulletin just said he had bronchitis.
A series of attacks. He can hardly breathe at times, and his heart is weakening.
Weakening?
No one can say how long he has. Perhaps a few days.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, my dear.
Bertie, no.
Forgive me, my dear. I wanted to come to meet you, but these fool doctors.
How are you, my dearest?
Oh, a poor old thing, but I'll fight it.
It's all this worry, all these demands they've made on you.
No one's to blame. It's only my chest. Now, I don't want you to get upset, Alex.
I can't hear you.
Come closer. Now, I have reserved a box for you tonight at Covent Garden. I'm sorry I can't be there with you, but you must show yourself.
No, Bertie.
Alex.
My dearest, I came home to be with you. Now I'm here, I'm not going to leave you.
I didn't want you to feel you had to come back. But I'm glad you did. I was waiting for you.
If they'd let me know, I'd have come sooner. Shouldn't you be lying down?
Oh, no, I'm not going to give in. I've got work to do.
And why are you smoking? Oh, it must be bad for you. I'll open the window.
What difference can it possibly make now? Don't fuss, Alex. There. You see, I'm not finished yet. Now, you go and change.
No, Bertie, I'm going to go and change. And then I'll come and I'll sit with you.
That has been nice. I'm glad you're here, Alex. I missed you. Well, we got her back again then, eh, Caesar? Nearly dinner time.
He is just conscious, Mrs. Keppel, but refuses to be put to bed. He does not have long. I believe he would wish to see you. They all send their love. Willie, Nicky and Minnie, Lord Carrington. Franz Joseph? I can't hear you, my darling.
There's some news you might like to hear, Father. The 2-year-old plate at Kempton Park races, it's been won by your horse, Witch of the Air, by half a length.
I am very glad.
He was my best friend.
Your Majesty.
It is the end of an era.
I've just returned from the palace. I was booed in the street. They said that I killed the king. The people are stunned. They can't believe he's been taken from us. No man in our time was more justly beloved. And no ruler in any time was more sincerely true, more unswervingly loyal, or uniformly kind to his advisors and servants. He earned well the title by which he will always be remembered. The peacemaker of the world.
Not yet.
You must let them take him, Alex.
This is the longest I've had him to myself for many years. But I'm not complaining. I always knew he loved me best.